Okay, I'm going to demonstrate the central limit theorem and like how this actually works. Up here is the basic, the very top, that's the basic normal regular sampling distribution. This is the population. This is what happens. This is where those things are. Notice over here in the blue, it tells you the mean, the median, the standard deviation, how much it's skewed. These things we don't do as much yet. And we're going to take a sample of 5 things and find out what the actual mean is. So if I take a sample of 5 random things from there, right, that's the sample, and this is what the average of that sample was. So if I do it again, I take another sample of 5 things. See, that's boom. Now I've done this twice. My mean is 0. My median is 17. I think I have to do this a couple times before I actually get a mean to pop up. Hold on, dude. There it is. Oh, no, not yet. See there, boom. Range is 12. All right, so I keep doing this, and I keep finding the average of all of these means. I'll find the average of all these samples. Sorry. I do it again, again, and we're gonna look and see what happens to the distribution of all the averages that I got. Let's do 5 at a time. Now I'm starting to get a mean in there. So you'll notice right now, I started off, the population's mean was 16. My mean from my average, from my samples, was 8.5. Standard deviation is 8.59. Standard deviation, there's that. So I'm going to keep doing this over and over and over again. Get more and more samples in here. Right, it's still doing the same thing. It's just doing it faster. So like that would be a sample of 5 things. Boom, there was my average or my mean. Right, and I'm going to keep going until these numbers here stabilize, and we start seeing what happens if I keep taking samples of size 5, this n equals 5, and seeing what the averages end up being. I'm going to do this a time. Let's go 10,000 at a time. We're going to see. I'm going to keep doing this until my measurements here, until my statistics start balancing out. I don't seem to be changing. Yeah. They're getting pretty stable now. Go 100,000. Yeah, nothing's changing now. The skew, even though it's changing its sign slightly, it's not really changing any. So you'll notice this was my population. That was the normal graph. And then this one, notice it's still kind of normal. It's just a lot skinnier, if that makes any sense. It's more bunched up. You'll notice here the standard deviation was 5 on the same axis. Now my standard deviation is 2.24. But my mean is the same. So is my median. So let's see if that trend keeps up. Let's say we had a uniform distribution. All right. Everybody's all over there. I take a sample of 5 from that. Boom, there's my mean. Another sample, there's a different mean. Another sample, there's another one. And another one. All right, do this 5 times. I'm going to start doing this faster again. If I start doing this a lot, what shape is the distribution of the means going to look like? What are the averages going to end up looking like? This becomes a pretty big deal. Let's start doing this a lot. It's going to start filling up. It doesn't look like it's uniform. That's interesting. So it doesn't keep the shape. Let's see what ends up. Let's go big time here. I don't see a lot of changing right now. Do this a whole ton of times. Notice it still looks like it's normal. So the averages is still normal. The mean still 16. The standard deviation was 9.52. Now it's 4.26. Definitely something interesting happening. Let's check out a different one. Let's say it's skewed, right? I take an average from here. Notice now my mean is 8.08, median 7, standard deviation 6.22. I'll keep on going. What shape do you think this is going to end up being? This is going to be interesting. Let's go 5 at a time. Make this a little bit faster. It's building, it's building. Oh, kind of looks skewed still, so that's something. Getting a little less skewed now. These numbers are still changing. Let's go 10,000 at a time because it's going to take too long otherwise. It's got a slight skew to it still, but not very much of one. Let's go big time. Notice it's still fairly normal, right? It's got a little bit more on the upside, but not very much. The mean, still 8.08, and the standard deviation was 6.22, and now it's 2.07. So we're going to do something really changes, clear everything out. Let's go strange one, but look, this time we're going to take a sample of 25. All right, and let's go. We're going to draw. Let's say this thing's really crazy. It's got a gap here, really tall. Oh, let's go that. That's fun. And a little bound there, and a big one out here. That's about as ugly as I can get. Right? I take a sample of 25. Right? Come on. And that's my mean. I'm going to do this 5 times. Notice what happens now. Let's see what the shape ends up being. Oh, by the way, my mean was 17.3 and my standard deviation was 9.93. Watch this. Let's go really fast. It's really, really normal. Mean is exactly the same. Standard deviation much smaller. Watch, I think the one that we had the hardest trouble was skewed before. But look, now let's do a sample of 25. Watch this. Remember how it was skewed? Big time. Look, that's almost no skew at all. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Notice here, standard mean is still exactly the same. Standard deviation is way smaller. So we're going to talk about what that can do. But notice all of my samples ended up making a normal distribution. That's going to be a big deal in just a few minutes.